Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at the Shadow Sandslash. And you might think, this Pokemon, most likely not going to be too good, nobody's playing it, haven't really seen it at all. You might be wrong. This Pokemon is actually quite nice now, and the main reason for this is that this Pokemon received a ginormous buff that went kinda completely under the radar. And we see here already why. This Pokemon has access to the move Rock Tomb, which is now most likely the strongest move in the game, I would need to say. Like, it is a move that hits hard. It has a great coverage type with the rock typing, which is able to hit a lot of types of super effective damage. And then altogether, it has a guaranteed chance of dropping the opponent's attack by one stage. So, that is already great, but what really sets Sandslash apart? You have Sand Attack as a fast move, which is a very solid fast move. It is doing some solid damage, it generates energy very nicely, and especially it's a one-turn fast move, which allows you to do some interesting stuff, which you're gonna see maybe here in today's video as well. But yeah, that is cool as well, and that's really helpful, especially because it's stab. But then we have the Community Day move Night Slash, and all those things together is honestly amazing. Like, I did play this team for like 3 sets, but I also played Sandslash with a team that was similar, but I forgot what team it was. I really want to play this team again. Just before the Great League swapped, I recorded those battles, but I accidentally deleted them, and so I don't know the team anymore, and I had to try to recreate something. I don't know if this was the team, but this team definitely worked. I do think I had most likely the Marowak in the back, as far as I remember, but it is what it is. Here in this case, we're just gonna take a look at the Gastrodon, which is most likely the better Pokemon to run for this team. We're going to have here against us, sadly, we're gonna swap out into our Sandslash against the Drapion. Like, if we would have been able to go into our Gastrodon here, this would have been absolutely amazing. But we're still going to have a very solid matchup here. You'll see already that the opponent's HP dropped quite a bit, I would say, and we can just one-shot them with the Rock Tomb. In comes Ferrothorn. Yeah, this is not what I wanted to see, but we have the potential to boost, and trust me, boost can really come in clutch with this Pokemon, especially if you get 2 back-to-back. And so now, after really having like a matchup where I was like, I'm most likely gonna lose here, I have a matchup where I at least have a chance. It doesn't mean that we're gonna win, because they're gonna knock me out here, sadly, but we're gonna be able to get a ton of energy, actually perfect amount of energy here on our Gastrodon, and we can try to go for the bait here. Of course, we don't actually have the other move, but they're very likely just gonna use a shield because they don't want to lose HP. We can catch the move, and with this is going to be it for the second battle. So, I want to talk a little bit more about the team. As you're going to encounter a Gastrodon in the lead, that's going to be okay for us. We're still going to swap out here because we have an ABB style line. Why Mandibuzz together with the Sandslash? You're going to have the double weakness, by the way, look at this. Bye-bye. Bye-bye before you can do anything. You have the double weakness, of course, to Ice-type Pokemon, which is a bit awkward, but you have at least Rock Tomb still on this Pokemon, which makes it a bit more okay. And like, at the end of the day, the most common Ice-type Pokemon is going to be Lapras, which does resisted damage with its double resist damage against your lead. So I think it is fine to have that weakness there. It is something that I don't really like, but I think it's fine, never hurt me at all. But you have a Dark-type in the lead, and you have a Pokemon as a Sainsop that has Dark-type coverage. You know already, if you watch my channel for quite a bit longer, that those things are kind of stuff like that I look forward to for like when I try to do team building. I always kind of want to have coverage from the lead onto my Sainsop in order to bait those Pokemon out, but still punish them. And that is the main thing that I did with this team, and that's the main thing which I did with this combination of the Mandibuzz as well as the Kanto Sandslash there. And currently having Dark-type coverage in the current meta is really, really nice, because there are quite a lot of Ghost-type Pokemon floating around, like even Dusclops and Dusknoir. We have Drifblim, which got a buff with Hex. We have the Corsola still floating around, literally. But we also have Grumpig, which is a Pokemon that the lead definitely going to be able to bait out if you swap out of there. And then you have super effective coverage against them. And especially with Night Slash, it's nice because you have that potential to boost your own attack, which is so nice. Okay, Grumpig is in the lead here. We gonna stay in here, of course, and we expect that the opponent gonna swap out here. We are swapping into our Gastrodon. What we know is we need to kind of keep alignment. We have a very great lead there for us. By the way, we're running Air Slash on Mandibuzz. This is not needed, but I just like it a little bit more because I am always a bit worried about the potential of Annihilate. And Annihilate just is way more easier to handle there if you have Air Slash. That is just the thing. Because Gastrodon is quite a bad matchup for the Annihilate, for you against Annihilate, because you're going to have Body Slam as your main move to go for fast, and it's going to be double resisted, which is going to be an issue. But yeah, that's why I have Air Slash, the Air Slash here on my Pokemon. You don't need to have that, but it's okay if you have it. I think it's better to have it, to be fair. Anyway, we're going to see here now the Azumarill. Azumarill can be an issue, and I do think I had a different team the time before. I do think I had a combination of the Corviknight, but I just couldn't figure out a Pokemon in the back there I was happy with. I could have mostly used Corviknight in the lead as well. Like, if you don't want to run Mandibuzz, Corviknight is your play there as well. But then again, I thought, like, it is kind of really nice to have the Dark-type in the lead and the Dark-type coverage as a safe stop, and that's why I went for it. Here in this case, it's going to be a bit more annoying. It's not going to really work out well for us here. As we will see here, Dark Pulse is just barely not enough to knock them out. If it was enough to knock them out, I actually could have seen a world where we would have won this battle here, but as you will see, we still have a ton of energy. The opponent has a ton of energy on their Azumarill as well. We can go for the Aerial Ace, but we have that shield, but the opponent still has so much health. We still have a better matchup here against Azumarill as well because of Air Slash as the fast move. But then again, if you would run something like the, the Corviknight, you're going to have some neutral play, generally speaking. But as you will see here, we're just barely going to lose this battle, but it was very close. Good game to the opponent. Dragonite. Of course, clearly our backline doesn't really like to play against this Pokemon. Our lead doesn't like it that much either, but it's not that bad. Especially if I can hit this Aerial Ace. Please let the move go through. They don't. But I can still swap out and try to go for the Night Slash, which we will see here the opponent is going to have to deal with. We're gonna use a shield against the Dragon Claw, and I do think that this is going to be working out quite well for us, as we will get the damage onto them and they're gonna have the Jellicent in the back. And I think this is the one battle I make a big mistake, but we will see. We're going to have the Night Slash coming through here, we're gonna try to reach another one, and I can use a shield here, and do I overfarm too much? Yes, this was the one where I overfarmed too much. If I just went for my Night Slash, I would have been fine. To be fair, in my defense, I was watching at the same time the Nintendo Direct, which was today when you listen to this video as well. And they literally just announced something new for like the new Pokemon game, like they just had a new trailer. If I, would have paid more attention there, if I played that a bit more safer there, I would have guaranteed won this battle here. That doesn't mean though that we're gonna lose this battle yet, because we still have Gastrodon. We need to get rid of the shield here from the opponent, which we get done. So can we still win the battle? That is the question here. Can we? Focus Blast, connecting. No, we can't. Good game. It is what it is. So we will see here that the Shadow Ball is going to take us down, and we can move on to the next opponent. Superior, great. Satyr of Typhlosion, absolutely amazing. We have Gastrodon for this Pokemon, which is exactly what we kind of need here, because Gastrodon is going to be able to resist everything unless they're running Solar Beam, which, yeah, that would be kind of completely ridiculous if someone does that, because it just doesn't really make too much sense, does it? I don't think so. Anyway, we will see here the Superior coming in. We're going to be able to swap out into our own, Mandibuzz. That's going to be fine. It is going to be the Aerial Ace connecting here, but we're going to try our best. And look at this, Morpeko does not really want to face this one. And we can move on to the next opponent. Fortress here. We're going to start out straight away. The reason for this is they're going to have the fast move of a Volt Switch, which means we are gonna be in a position now where our backline can resist this, and I really would like to keep alignment. As we hit the Rock Tomb, which is, by the way, absolutely awesome, we're gonna use a shield here against the Grass Knot, expecting that they wouldn't go for the debuffing Rock Tomb. I will be able to go for the Night Slash spam now, and I can get guaranteed switch advantage, right? Let's see. Night Slash, not enough by 1 HP. That is not ideal, but we are gonna get out of this matchup without a debuff, but with a Quagsire. That is going to be a tough one to break, because they have Stone Edge. My Mandibuzz doesn't like Stone Edge. And so, yeah, it is gonna be a bit of a tougher one, but we get some fast move in there, they're gonna swap out, of course, immediately into the fortress. Now we can see how much does one Earthquake do here. Too much. I gonna go straight for the move. I was not really there risking the bait, and it did not work out at all. They're gonna be able to shield it up. They're gonna be able to get to the move here, but even the body slam, of course, would have not helped me in the situation. And so we have to take another Earthquake, but at least they're going to be energy dry now. I can overfarm, they swap out into the cracks there. How are we gonna deal with that? I'm gonna have to let the Stone Edge go through, and we still have to go for another charge move. Do I go for another fast move here? Do I go for the aerial ace? What am I gonna do here next? We will see the knocked out here against the opponent, and as we will see, the Vulture is connecting. Is it enough with the aerial ace? And luckily is enough. I didn't expect it at all, and we can win the battle. We have basically the worst possible lead here. We're going to have the Alolan Sandslash here against the Kanto Sandslash, which is kind of funny. That's just the one thing that honestly kind of sometimes bothers me, because it would have made for so much cool content. Why can we not use both of them at the same time? And before you write down in the comment section, I'm fully aware of that the reason for this is that both Pokemon are considered the same Pokemon based on the Pokedex, and you cannot use two Pokemon from the same Pokedex number, which is the same thing for the main CS games, by the way, as well. This is not something Pokemon Go exclusive. And so, yeah, it is kind of sad, but still, they're functioning absolutely differently. Like, I don't think they even have a move that's gonna match in terms of what they learn. Maybe Bulldoze, I think maybe both learn. It's kind of sad, but it is what it is. Still kind of mad, by the way, that our Sandslash cannot learn Drill Run. Like, why not? Like, it looks literally like a Pokemon that should learn Drill Run. But yeah, the Ice form can. That's great. But if this Pokemon would get Drill Run, it would be absolutely overpowered. By the way, I do think it would be like a really, really strong Pokemon. Not really absolutely overpowered. It's like more of a saying there. It wouldn't be absolutely overpowered. Don't get me wrong there. But it would be very, very strong. Is what I would rather want to say with that. By the way, maybe you saw us in the last 2 videos or whatever as well. I'm trying to change a little bit my way of commentary. I don't really like to do like this crazy YouTube stuff as much anymore. So I hopefully enjoy like this type of commentary a little bit more, where it's a bit more calmer. I think that's going to work out maybe a bit more better as well, and also kind of fits more towards what I kind of want to stand for. So yeah, if you enjoy this type of content, and if you enjoy the bit more calmer approach, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a like on the video, so I can see on how you like it. But here, I didn't like the Alolan Sandslash from the opponent. That of course doesn't mean that we're going to have some very exciting moments that I can also commentate very exciting. But yeah, we're going to have here a very exciting Corviknight. This is going to take a Rock Tomb, and what we see already is 2 moves are going to be enough. And as we're going to try to aim for that KO against the Corviknight so we can realign, what I'm going to try to aim for as well is another debuff before I take a hit, because I should be easily able to take even a Sky Attack at this point after 2 debuffs onto the opponent's Corviknight. And with this, I can now decide on if I want to realign or not, because if they use a shield, I use a shield, I will be able to align myself. If they don't use a shield, and oh, in comes a Zermal, that is trickier, but it is not impossible for us to win, because we still have our Gastrodon. And the cool thing about Gastrodon is that we're gonna be able to take a hit quite easily, but we slap them down, we have Earth Power for them, both going to be some stab, neutral, hard-hitting damage coming their way, and this is going to look quite solid, as long as the opponent is not going to be capable of catching that move, and they're not. Which is absolutely amazing. And so we can say kinda goodbye to that Azumarill. They're still going to swap out of here, trying to do something sneaky there. But does it really work? We will find out shortly here, because I'm not too sure about the matchup yet. Of course, it's going to be Marowak against us, but they have Rock Slide. Okay, it doesn't two-shot us, so I'm not too worried about it yet. I know it's going to be another Rock Slide going to connect against us, but it doesn't two-shot us, so I'm not too worried. I do think the best play for me is to go for Dark Pulse. It is nearly doing... Okay, it's not doing the same as like 2 aerial aces, but we're gonna get out with a ton of energy, forcing the opponent to throw their charge move straight away. And with this, I know that they cannot have another charge move stored at the same time, which is gonna be very good for us, because as we will see here as well, the opponent is going to now go down from the body slam, and we can move on to the final battle. Next up, we're going to actually have a great lead, but I kind of messed up by swapping out of here, so yeah, I should have not really done this, at least in theory, but then we have Mandibuzz, and oh wow, Rock Tomb. Wow, attack drop. And not only this, we could have another Rock Tomb. And I would even be able now to let the move go through from the opponent if I really wanted to. And I can still get to another move most likely, as they're gonna go for the foul play. It barely does anything. But I really would like to keep alignment here, because I have a ground type in the back, which is going to work out way better for me against, the Pokemon that I'm going to have there later on. So we're going to be able to, like against Drapion, we're going to rather have Orgaston, of course, in that. But as you're going to see, they're going to have a Mightyena. Funny Pokemon. I don't think I made a video about it yet, but I definitely gave it a try privately. Maybe I made a video about it. Could be. I have to research that. I definitely used it though. But it was an interesting Pokemon for sure. I think there were a lot of battles that I did that never really got into a video, not because the team didn't work either, just because it was the end of the Greatly period and just didn't have enough time to upload all of the content. But yeah, Mightyena with Sucker Punch and Poison Fang is really cool and does actually a lot of damage and has Play Rough as coverage move, so I have to be a bit mindful here. But as you see here, Poison Fang, not too worrisome. And so we will see here that the Aerial Ace is not coming through because we need to go for the full farm down. Poison Fang is coming through though, and we will win this battle. And this is going to be it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed this one. This was a fun one for me to definitely record here. And yeah, this is going to be it. Hopefully you enjoyed. See you then. Bye bye.